The following video might contain small traces of adult content.
Episode 4, Leaving for Bangkok. That night they eat a romantic dinner at Hilton Rooftop Restaurant. He looks her in the eyes, she looked back at him and fire off a big warm smile. In bed later that night they just cuddle and talks. "I like you very much and I feel sad that I have to leave tomorrow," Roger says. "I like you too, you have such a warm heart, I hope you will be back soon." A long pause. "It would be nice if you could send me 10,000 baht every month so I don't need to work in bar," she says. Roger gets a flashback from one of his vlogging mentors that repeats his mantra very often: don't get emotional attached to a working girl. With a lot of gathering some courage he says, "No, I'll not do that." He lowers his glance and feels very bad. "I understand," she says with a big disappointment in her voice. They fall asleep. In the morning Roger feels much better and she hugs him. She starts to caress his lower stomach and says, "I would like to taste that chili one last time." Shower and then time to check out. The taxi should arrive at 11 a.m. He balances up his account with Sheik and adds another 5,000 baht. She smiles. "Kop kun ka." They go down and he checks out. They sit in the lobby and waiting for the taxi, which is obviously running on Thai time late. He looks at her and his eyes waters up and he feel really sad. The taxi arrives, they hug long and hard and then say their goodbyes. In the taxi to Bangkok, he summarizes his week as the best week of his life without any close competition. He also checks his wallet and ATM receipts. That week took a toll of his account with minus 60,000 well-spent baht. 90 minutes later he arrived at his Bangkok hotel, Bless residence at Sukhumvit 33 close to Prumphon BTS station. "Sorry sir, we couldn't accommodate your request of a room on the lower floors. They're a big group of poker players that has gotten all the lower floor rooms, but we will upgrade you to a bigger room," the lady in the reception say. Roger looks at his plastic key, it says 703 and Roger just sighs. The living room is big with a large sofa and a flat TV, the bedroom is located to the left, behind two giant sliding glass doors. "I can live here," he says loudly to himself. At the room he looks through a menu, he feels very hungry. He orders spaghetti and meatballs, for only 75 baht. That's cheap for being a hotel, he thinks. He soon realizes why when the food arrives. He must have ordered a meal for a small child. But the refrigerator makes up for the loss by having some cans of Japanese beer, Sing and of course Heineken. They also had a small bottle of Sang. So, Roger takes a shower again and falls asleep on the bed. Mamma mia, here we go again. His phone is playing his favorite ABBA song, It's Nils. He looks at his *A+ replica Rolex. It's 5 p.m. He answers. "Hello mate, I am here," a crisp and happy voice. "I have room 703, he says with a whiskey voice and cough loud. It knocks on the door. "Come in," the door is open. Again Roger and Nils lay down next to each other on the bed and talks and drinks the remaining alcohol from the minibar. It seems like one of the best moments they have together is just relaxing and talk about the past and the future. 2 hours later they have moved over to Nils' room 705 and emptied Nils' minibar too and heads up to the pool. They only have about 90 minutes before the sun sets. 85 minutes later, they return to their respective rooms for another shower. Half an hour later they meet up in the reception, time to party. Just outside the hotel entrance is a bar named The Office. They have big signs showing a man answering his phone and saying, "Yes dear, I am still at the office." They walk further into SWA 33, Nils have done it again. They realize they are in a small red light district. Then they see an Australian restaurant on the left on the other side of the SWA and go over there. Roger orders a big bottle of dry Strongbow cider, Nils orders a large Chang beer, they also orders 2 one-pound steaks. with chips and a lot of different sauces. After some more drinks, it's time to move on. Just about 30 meters down road, they enter an establishment full with pool tables. They are immediately met by two hostesses named O and Ah. Roger thinks for himself, is that how they sound during aerobics? They are both wearing posh evening dresses, but the resemblances ends there. O is very tiny and slim, while Ah is very tall for a Thai lady, and she is voluptuous beyond your wildest fantasy. Think Jessica Rabbit with dark hair. The ladies suggest we play some pool like a foursome. Nils quickly teams up with O and Roger with Ah. Nils and Roger quickly realizes that their pool skill set are inferior to the ladies, but they don't care, they are up for a completely different game. After many drinks and 7 rounds of pool for only 40 baht per round, Nils and O wins by 4-3 over Roger and Ah. Roger fancy Ah and asks her if she would like to come up to his room. No, I only play pool, she says, and drink. Lady drinks. Roger thinks to himself. Nils and Roger now decides to go to the office instead. At the office it's obviously low season, a few customers are spread out in the premises. Nils and Roger walks up in front of a tall female bartender and order 2 shots of Fireball, cinnamon whiskey. It burns and Roger start to cough violently. Nils just laughs and says, "That's nothing," while poking Roger on his side. "I want vodka Red Bull," Roger says with a scratchy voice. "Me too, but make it a double," Nils replies. 2 hours later, tipsy is not the right word to describe them. Roger starts to feel that some kind of glory wants his attention. Gently he inquires if the bartender are available for some aerobics. 4,000 baht long time and 1,600 baht fine. That was expensive, Roger thinks to himself, but when you got to go, you got to go. Okay, he says, and pay the bar fine. She grabs her handbag and give her keys to the cash register to another lady. She then grabs him by his arm and says, "Where do we go?" "About 30 meters, Roger replies and point to the entrance of Bless residence through a window. When they exit the bar, Roger quickly checks behind his back and he sees Nils dancing on the bar top while singing Just Can't Get Enough, Depeche Mode. At the reception she speaks Thai with the staff and give them her ID. In the elevator Roger suddenly realizes he doesn't know her name, so he asks, "Sorry, I didn't catch your name. My name is Roger." "Nina," she says while leaning over Roger and grabs his behind. In the rooms Roger opens the minibar and notices that the bar is replenished. Drinks are on the house. Nina leans over Roger and starts touching his ear with her tongue while stroking his chest. "Why don't you shower first?" she says. "Okay," Roger answers and rushes to the shower, probably the fastest shower ever. He comes back to the sofa just wearing a towel. Nina smiles and kisses him everywhere. "Time for me to shower too," Nina says, and starting to remove her earrings, eyelashes and then her hair. Her real hair is short and spiky when she rubs it. "Do you like it?" she says and takes his hand to feel her hair. "Yes," Roger says in a doubtful voice. She takes off her shoes and then stands up, and with a swift motion she slips out of her dress and removes her bra, which was concealing some real big assets. "Why don't you repair the bed? I will be back soon." 15 minutes later she returns in only her underpants. Roger is laying on his back in the bed in his birthday suit. Nina slowly enters the bed and starts an oral extraction process. Wow, she really knows what she is doing. This is exceptionally good. Roger reaches a higher level, higher than ever before. They get under the quilt and Roger asks, "How come you are so good in oral extraction?" "It's very easy, I am a ladyboy." End of episode 4.
Please don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell below.